Modeliks. Hamamdjiev, welcome to our program.
It's great to be here.
Let's start with what seems to be the most important question for all startup companies. How do they get the attention of investors? What does the real-world playbook say? What's crucial from that perspective?
Well, in order to raise funds for a startup, there are two really most important things that every startup should do when raising funds. One is to create a great story about their business. And two is to have access to investors. Now, let's dive into each one of these subjects separately. So what does having a great story mean for a startup? It means that you should have identified a big problem that your customers face. Two, your product should be the solution for that problem. Three, you should be able to clearly explain why your solution is better than any other solution at the moment in the market. Four, you need to prove that you have a team that is able to execute and bring your company to success. A team with a previous track record of success. You know, the team is extremely important because investors invest. Idea is easy. Anyone can come with an idea. There are many. You go online, you search. There are many available ideas for business. But actually implementing that idea is what is the difficult part. What is crucial. So having a proven team is really key to raising funds. And the fifth step in creating a great story is to show that you have a great, huge market to your investors. That once you're successful, you will be able to make a lot of money for your investors. So that's it, creating a great story. You identify the big problem, you have a solution for the problem, you're better than competition, you have the right team, and you have a huge potential to make money for your investors. It's as simple as that when it comes to creating a great story for your business. Now,
what are the main challenges of that process? What are the main obstacles to reaching investors? And how can companies from this region more easily approach them? Are we even an attractive market for investors?
So approaching investors is the second crucial part. And there are several ways you can do it. I mean, obviously, our region is less developed when it comes to the investment industry. So it's more difficult to reach investors here in our region than, let's say, the United States or Europe. But there are still a lot of opportunities. So where do you start? You start from your personal network, your friends, your family, people you have worked with. People you have worked with are very important. If they have a good opinion of you that you can actually execute and deliver on your promise, this is the best place to start. So start from your personal network. This is how Modeliks raised money. We raised, at the beginning of this year, we raised €1 million actually in funding, and it was completely, truly done through our own network. Now, the second step is if you want to increase your network, you should join startup communities to help you access investors and access knowledge. For example, we, as Modeliks, we are a member of Startup Macedonia. That's just one example of a startup community. And there you meet lots of startups, like-minded people. You meet people with expertise that can help you develop your startup, and you get introductions to investors. So being part of startup communities, again, opens up your network and access to investors. Third step, especially in our region, every country has governmental innovation funds with budget to invest in funds. It's free to apply. It takes money and effort to prepare the application, but you can expect to raise maybe up to a few $100,000 from governmental funds if your idea and your business plan is accepted. Next, you have accelerators. Different accelerators around the region. They provide operational support, advice, and some of them money or funding to startups. You go with accelerators if you don't need a lot of funding. So up to $10,000 usually they would invest in the startups that join accelerators. But that's another option for you. Next option, angel clubs. There are several active angel investor funds or clubs in the region. These are clubs of individuals which like to invest in startups, mainly in technology actually, but in general in startups. If you contact them, this opens up a very large number of potential investors, individual investors through these angel clubs. Now, all these options all these options that I've talked about up until now are best suited for companies which are just starting idea stage or they have just started. If you are an already existing business running for several years, you have shown that you have track record, you have product market fit, there are more options and bigger investment options. Now, venture capital funds. Venture capital funds, they invest up to several $1 million actually, if you need. But they invest in companies which already have a proven track record and product market fit. Then you have banks. They don't invest equity, but they do give loans to companies which have, again, been existing for a while. For startups, bank loans are really not accessible at the moment. And there are a couple of other options for investments, for investors or for funding, but for our region, they're still not here yet. They need to be developed. One of them is the revenue-based financing, where you receive financing that you pay off as a percentage of your revenues over time. But although this type of financing is not available in the region, if you have a stable revenue-generating business, you can approach European and American revenue-based funding organizations, and you can actually raise funds from them. So those are the options that we have. And what people should, what entrepreneurs should realize is,
it's really important in that process to have a good financial plan. A great tool for crafting financial plans and getting investors is the Modeliks software. Could you walk us through how this software works?
So, absolutely. So, Modeliks is a business planning and financial planning software for startups and SMEs. And I've been doing business planning and fundraising for about 20 years now. I've secured more than $400 million in funding over those years for more than 100 projects. So I decided to put all of this knowledge into a software to help entrepreneurs raise funds and plan their business better. So what does Modeliks do and how can it help startups and SMEs? It does four main things for you or for the user. One, it helps the user create an investor-ready pitch deck. This is the first part I was talking about. Create a great story about your business. So Modeliks helps you do that. If you need to get a loan from a bank, you need a business plan, a long form document. So Modeliks will help you write a bankable business plan. The third thing Modeliks does is helps you create a professional financial plan, 3-year or 5-year financial plan. You don't need to have experience in financial planning. With Modeliks, let Modeliks guide you through the process of financial planning, and you will have a professional financial plan. And the fourth thing that Modeliks does is helps you track your progress against that plan as time goes by with automated dashboards. So you plan, and then you track your progress. Wherever you see needs for improvement, you improve, then you track again. So prepare an investor pitch deck, business plan, a financial plan, and track your progress with automated dashboards. This is what Modeliks can help startups and SMEs with.
And from that aspect, what is crucial in creating a good financial plan and a good pitch deck?
So, look, if I start with financial plan, there are two main things which are important when creating a financial plan. One, you need to show that at some point of time in the future, if you are not profitable yet, you will become profitable and you will make money for your investors and for the business as well. But the second thing, which is really crucial when building a financial plan, is to show that you truly understand how your business operates, the ins and outs of the business. And how do you do that? You do that by creating a financial plan which is based on the operating drivers of your business. Now, let me explain that through an example. Let's say you're an e-commerce business that sells clothes online, for example. Now, how do you build your financial plan? Based on the operating drivers of that business. You say, I have revenue from selling clothes. I'm going to sell X number of clothes times an average price per sale, right? But then you want to calculate the number of clothes that you sell based on the drivers that influence the number of clothes that you sell. And this would be, if you're selling online, right? You're an e-commerce company. This is the number of visitors multiplied by some conversion rate from a visitor to your website into a buyer. Then your marketing spend needs to be connected to the number of visitors, because the more visitors you bring to your company through paid marketing channels, the more marketing more marketing money you need to invest. Then your customer service depends on the number of clients that you have. So you see, the whole business is connected, all operations of the business, they're connected to each other. And this needs to be reflected in the financial model to show your investors that you know how your business runs. And this is the key. This is the key to creating professional financial models. And this is what Modeliks helps you with. Create such a logically linked, driver-based financial plan. When it comes to a pitch deck, what is a great pitch deck is the things that I mentioned before, right? You need identified. It's as simple as that. People go into too much detail for stuff that are not important. It's just these 5 things. Show that you identify the big problem. Show that your solution you have a solution for that problem. Show that you're better than everyone else, than your competition. Show that you have the right team to execute that business, and show that once you're successful, your investors are going to make a lot of money. Investors that invest in startups, they expect 10 times, 50 times. Some investors expect 100 times the return on the money they invest. So you better show them that once you're successful, you will provide these returns for them.
Hamamdjiev, it was a pleasure having you in our program. Thank you for this conversation.
It was my pleasure as well.